1, 2, 3, 4.
Samba!
He had the world at his feet.
Come on, number 100!
He had the moves.
Flashy, crowd-pleasing stunts.
I want to say to you that I will give you a screening in Cannes, 12 o'clock, but you have 1 hour to decide because I don't want any of this going to Insert Ricard, the other festival, and if you don't want it, then it's withdrawn. And I'm like, Pierre, very nice to be talking to you. Just give me a second. I go, I think that'll be all right. I'll see you there. Right? Bang. 12 o'clock screening. It's actually documented. There's 12 o'clock screening in Cannes, half the cinema full. When someone leaves a cinema in Cannes, the chairs go bap like that. So I hear a bap, I'm dying. End of the screening, spontaneous standing ovation, a crowd. They start to follow us down there, and I remember a security guard drags me out of the crowd and he says, "Monsieur, from this day on your life will never be the same again." When I did Romeo and Juliet, I spent 2 years coming to terms with who Shakespeare really was. Who was he really? How was this play created? It wasn't written in a garret and posted in. It was, you know, it was collaged together. It was worked on every night. It came from a popular long poem at the time. You know, it was forged in a cauldron in the moment. And visceral and pop songs were put in it, and I tried to reflect that in the making of the movie.
I am the Green Fairy.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
By the time I went to Moulin Rouge, nobody went like, "Yeehaw!" You know, it's like, you know, let's put a new wing on the studio.
The show will be a magnificent, opulent, tremendous, stupendous, gargantuan bedazzlement.
Baz pitches are an experience in and of themselves because they tend to be an escalating series of impossibility.
So exciting, so delighting, it was a 50 years, so exciting, so delighting, it was a 50 years.
Would you like to hear a story?
What story?
Well, there's a girl, and there's a sort of magic man.
I was very fortunate to be trained in NIDA, where the development of story is an ongoing process. You work it and then you rework it, and you're constantly trying to find the clear narrative. This is something that Shakespeare in his day would have done every night. They would have just changed, evolved the work. You don't freeze frame it. You don't write it. It's perfect. And I was always trying to find the different endings, and indeed I did shoot a tragic ending, and I shot a very happy ending. The mechanics of it allowed it to be happy. But what happened was, which was so buoying, and this is where storytelling constantly surprises you, is that I found an ending that was responding to this moment, and most particularly to my own feelings.
You still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful.
Was all this made entirely from your own imagination?
When I got nothing,
But I had the uneasy feeling that he was guarding secrets.
I know you will.
I wish I'd done everything on earth with you.
Baz has been every bit as brilliant and surpassed my imagination of how incredibly inspirational he'll be. He is. He's a glittering, you know, wit. He's a raconteur. He's so imaginative and creative. He's so brilliantly intelligent, and he's such a specific director that every single note I felt was so accurate and right on. I just learned so much from him.
Past cannot be repeated, such a famous, iconic line in this. How does that apply to you with filmmaking and what you do?
Well, I know people go, well, I've got my thing, but, you know, I like to think it's an evolution and moving forward. You know, if Leonardo was a young, gifted actor in Romeo and Juliet, then the way I made that film was very brash and very me young. And I like to think that this is me older. But also, I don't want to repeat the past. I want to beat on, you know, boats against the current. Of course, you're going to feel like you're being drawn back, but I want to move forward. I don't want to repeat myself.
life has got to be like this. It's got to keep going on.